Hello, this is Aya Fabarinelli. I am your Abundant Life Coach, and I tell you, it is one of my greatest joys to be able to get on here on this platform and to share with you some of the lessons that I've learned, usually the hard way, and sometimes through other mentors in my life. It really pays to listen to other people because then you can cut through the crap, right? And you can shorten your learning curve. So hopefully that's what I'm doing for you. And hopefully you've liked, you've subscribed to this channel, and you are sharing it, and we appreciate you. So this month we're talking about being planted, right? How important it is to put down roots if you are going to see your dreams materialize, if you're going to see your goals come to fruition, if you're going to be able to live that life that you dream of living. But let me say something about being planted that I did not realize until a couple of years ago. Again, I love to plant. I love to farm. I love to grow food that I can eat. And before I moved to Texas, I loved to have a garden that was full of beautiful flowers. But then I moved to an area where all I was doing was really creating a salad bowl for the deer. And so I've kind of backed off flowers a little bit. But this is what I found out, right? I had planted my cucumbers right next to my strawberry patch. Now, every year I tend to move around where my plants are in my garden, but the strawberry patch pretty much just stays where it is, right? And I noticed that year that my strawberries weren't doing so great. They didn't produce as well. And my cucumbers started to produce, and then all of a sudden, like for no good reason, stopped, and like all of them just died off. And I'm going, what in the world? So I start researching, I start talking to some master gardeners. And they started to talk to me about companion plants. I say, what? And they said, well, certain plants don't want to be right next to other plants. And if you plant them right next to each other, they will actually, like sometimes there's one that's more aggressive that will actually hinder the ability of the other one to really produce. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. But then I started thinking about human beings and you and I, and when we set goals, and who are our companions? Because listen, how many times have you heard the story of the super smart kid who went off to college? And then they got to college, and then they got involved with this group of kids who were just having fun and just partying. And so, although they had this goal, got to keep my scholarship, and I've got to graduate in 4 years, make my parents proud, graduate with no loans, they fell in with what this crowd was doing, their companions. And the next thing you know, they've lost their scholarship. Now they're struggling, and then maybe they even flunk out of school. Well, what happened? Did that student suddenly become stupid? Did they suddenly become incapable of doing the work, the academic work? No. It's the company that they kept. So as you talk about being planted, and as you talk about 2021 being your best year yet, listen, you need to start really paying attention to who are my companions. What's to my left? What's to my right? What's in front? What's behind me? What are they doing? What are they emitting? How is that impacting my growth? How is that limiting my focus? I'll tell you one more story about plants, right? I had these amazing sunflowers. They grew stalks, they grew thick and strong, grew high up, and were producing the most beautiful sunflower heads. It was just beautiful. But not too far from the sunflower, I had planted some cantaloupe. And the cantaloupe did have a trellis to grow on. But let me tell you what cantaloupe do, and a lot of other plants that have vines. They put out these little strings, really, that's what they look like. It's like little fishing lines. And they will cast the line and grip onto something else, and then they start growing on that thing. And so when I first noticed it, I was like, not a big deal. I wasn't thinking it through. Eventually, this cantaloupe plant had so many tendrils that it attached to my sunflower stalks. And then the leaves, right? And then the next thing I know, there's cantaloupe that is being produced on some of those vines that had made their way over to the sunflower stalks. And guess what happened? The vines basically started to pull down the sunflower heads. And the weight of the growing cantaloupe, which I could not now disentangle, caused those heads to come all the way down and in some cases snapped them right off. What was the difference? Nothing wrong with cantaloupe, nothing wrong with sunflowers. But the two together in that close proximity was a disaster. So, as you stay planted, watch your companions. And unlike the plants, you can move. You can make a change. Do it so that you get the harvest you're looking for in 2021.